Absolute pleasure to be back in the gym with George Ferocious Kambosos. You are now fighting to be the unified lightweight world champion. How good does that sound, and how hard have you worked to get to this point?
Absolute pleasure to be back with Greek City Times, shooting this great interview. Look, it's amazing because my whole life, from a young kid when I first stepped into boxing, I had that vision of fighting for a world title. With my hard work, and the work that I've put in to get to this position, I'm fighting for all the belts. Got an opportunity to win every single belt in one fight. So, it's an amazing opportunity, and I'm taking it with both hands. I'm very focused. I've been working extremely hard. I've worked so hard to lead to this point, and especially now when it's all on the line, I'm pushing every bit of me that I have to win these belts.
So last time we spoke, we were talking about the upcoming Selby fight. So first of all, massive congratulations on that win. How was the experience fighting in London at Wembley Arena? And the second time fighting in Europe, I understand, for you?
Yeah, look, it was a fantastic win because Selby is a very good fighter, world-class fighter. Former world champion, defended that belt many times. And last time we spoke, you could see how focused I was for that fight. But my tunnel vision has gone even bigger now because there's even more on the line. But that was a great win. Came into his backyard, picked him apart. I believe the fight was a unanimous decision, but that's boxing sometimes. But we got a great win there, and when you have a fantastic preparation, you prepare to the best of your ability. The good victories should come about, and that's what happened in that fight. Fighting in the UK and obviously in Europe was fantastic. Unfortunately, there was no crowd because of COVID, but just to be in the UK, and I know how big boxing is over there. To take out one of their own former world champions was a great feeling, but there's plenty more to come.
So we're now looking at arguably the biggest fight in Australian boxing history for all the belts and to unify the lightweight division. So that must be something that resonates with you in particular. But what else have you taken inspiration for preparing for this momentous occasion?
Look, this is huge. Every single belt on the line. You can only dream of this, but this is reality for me right now. And the way I'm preparing, I'm just so hungry for this fight. I know that this not only changes history here in Australia for boxing, for sporting, but my own history, for the Greeks, for my family, for everyone. I've got so much motivation coming into this fight. I can't leave no stone unturned, and I will leave no stone unturned. It means the world to me. That's what it means. And just like I beat Lee Selby, and the interviewers and the commentators said it meant the world to him to win this fight, to now fight for a world title. Well, there's so many belts on the line, so I'm all in. Everything is I'm just so hungry. I'm so hungry, and I've got tunnel vision to win this fight.
Absolutely. You look focused. If you weren't looking focused last time, you definitely look focused this time. So last time we spoke, we were talking about a potential fight with pound-for-pound superstar Vasyl Lomachenko. What's your mindset now following Lopez's win over Lomachenko and fighting the young, new world champion? And what did you learn from that fight where Lomachenko fought Lopez, and Lomachenko really started letting his hands go and putting Lopez on the back foot and winning rounds in the second half of that fight?
Yeah, last time we spoke, I think we all thought that Lomachenko was going to win that fight. But in the back of my head, I just felt a certain destiny towards me and Lopez, clashing. And I've said it before, when we took a photo back in 2019, I don't know if he felt it, but I did. And I knew that this guy's going to be part of my destiny. I could just see it, the vibe that we had, that we're going to face off somewhere. And I actually went out and said it, that this will be a future mega fight. 2 years later, it's a mega fight. So, I saw a lot of things in that fight. I saw a lot of holes. I think the media and the American media is a little bit smoke and mirrors with the amount of mistakes Lopez made in that fight, the issues Lomachenko had coming into that fight, and to not throw a punch pretty much for 6 rounds, there was something wrong. I don't know how much data you can try to collect since he's a matrix, but that's not the way I fight. I come straight for you, and we've been doing some very good things in the gym. We've been doing a little bit different things as well. We've got a great video team that has pinpointed every single mistake that this kid makes, and I truly know him better than he's going to know himself come June 5th.
So what phase are you now in training, and how is that going to change and step up when you arrive in Miami?
Things get pushed even more. So I've been pushing myself to the limits, but I've been very smart too. When I've needed to pull back, I've pulled back so I don't overburn. But now we're going to up the tempo and go full steam ahead. This is now the final road of the 10 weeks of hard sparring. Fantastic game plans. The speed, the power, everything should come into motion, and it will. Already, I'm way ahead because I've been having a fantastic, camp here in Australia with Mick Akaway at the Just Boxing Gym, and I feel fantastic already. I'm very close to weight already. I'm passing through all my levels that we scheduled and hit out to achieve, and I'm ready to go straight into Miami now and have a fantastic camp over there with my lead trainer Javier Centeno.
Awesome. So you're well known for your speed, but also your aggressive counter-punching style. So how much of a factor do you think your speed is going to be in this next fight?
I think my speed is going to be everything in this fight. I think the way I position myself to land them shots and the speed and combinations I throw is what's going to catch him and going to shock him. But we're coming up with a very good game plan already here in Australia. Obviously, when I get to Miami, we're going to keep building on that game plan and add more to it. By the time the fight comes, the game plan should be so solid and should work to a T. Now, if it doesn't work to a T, you best believe we've got more game plans because there are many holes in this kid. I see them, and there's not just one hole. There's many which we will attack and show the whole world what we're about.
So I've heard in recent interviews you've mentioned that you're different to the previous opponents Lopez has faced. In what specific ways do you think you're different? And how is that going to relate to the build-up and the fight itself?
I believe that my hunger and my willpower is too much, compared to all these other guys. And that's not taking anything away from them. They've been very good fighters, world-class fighters, world champions. But my hunger, my willpower, the way I've been training, the way I train my whole life, for a moment like this is the difference and will make a difference in this fight. My attributes, I'm a very smart fighter, very fast fighter, and I have very explosive power, great combination puncher. So all them attributes, is to my artillery to be added in June 5th. The difference is there, you can see it. And the one big thing is all these guys fear this kid. I don't know why, but they feared him. I don't have no fear of this young kid who's gone and achieved too much too quick. I've been on the hard road. I've had to do way harder than what this kid has. He got to stay in America, and get a nice little promotional company and build him up nicely. While I've had to take the hard road, literally crawl to get to the position I'm in. Go into the backyards and go into the lion's den to get where I am today. And that's all going to be there. That's all going to help me in this victory.
So do you have a prediction for this next fight that you'd care to share with us?
Victory and the undisputed unified champion of the world, George Kambosos Jr.
I mean, we're all completely 100% behind you. So there's a lot of talk about the resumes of the other top fighters in your division. How do you compare your resume, your previous experience with the likes of Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, Devin Haney?
Look, when you look at the opponents we have all faced, and look, Lopez has faced the best opposition. Can't take that away from him. So that's why he's the undisputed champion, the number one at the moment. But number two at this stage is myself. I have faced the better opposition. I have faced two former world champions back to back. My road has been totally different to these guys, and it's there. The real boxing media and even Lopez himself has gone and said it, that Kambosos has faced a better opposition, has the better wins compared to the Haneys, the Garcias, the Davises. And that's no disrespect to them. They're very good fighters too, and I look forward to fighting these guys in the near future. But my road has been different compared to what they have.
So we've got another tough fight on the road for you. Do you relish that reputation as being the tough Australian Greek road warrior? Is that something that motivates you? And is that something that really is in your mindset coming into this fight?
Yeah, I think I thrive on it. I think going into the backyard and beating a champion, beating their supposed warrior. When you go back in the ancient times, the warriors would travel to different regions and countries and take out the best they had to build their name. I take that approach as well. So for me to go into another backyard, especially an undisputed supposed king, That excites me. That's what motivates me. It would have been fantastic to have it here in Australia, and we did try hard. But it's part of my destiny to go over there, like I have been in my last 6-7 fights, and take out another guy. This guy is obviously the biggest name probably in boxing at the moment. So when I do this and win this fight, which I will, it's just going to be so much better.
So business as usual again, George?
Business as usual. I go there with, like I say, my sword and my shield, obviously my gloves, and with the heart of a lion, a warrior, a Greek Australian. You can't beat that mix. It's a powerful mix, and I'm just so focused. I've got that tunnel vision to win this fight. I've seen it already. This destiny is already written.
So you're fighting on a new platform, Trilla. How do you feel about that as a relatively new player in the boxing industry, and the way they've been doing things and fighting on a new platform, which is bringing kind of more mainstream / crossover fans into boxing?
Look, Trilla is it's very exciting because they're the way of the future, and myself and Lopez are still very young as well. We're the new generation coming through. So what better way to build a big brand like Trilla in the boxing world than put the new generation, the stars of today, on their platform. They came in very heavy, which is great for boxing because it lifts everything up. At the end of the day, we're the fighters. We're putting our lives on the line. We're risking it all. So, we deserve to make what we make. But the way they do things, the way they cross-promote, the way they bring influencers, musicians, sporting legends, sporting stars into the whole, fight and the whole build-up is amazing, because my profile will grow as a fighter, and the sport will grow with it. And that's exactly what we want to do. And I'm excited to work with Trilla.
So it seems to me that all the other players in the lightweight division, they talk a big game, but they don't get in the ring with each other. Do you plan to disrupt that little group of players by fighting all of them when you can?
I do, because I know that they've stated that they got the 4 kings, and they're all Americans, so that's no problem. I'm happy for them to be the 4 kings, but they should know that the emperor's coming. The emperor is bigger than a king. He travels different countries and takes out the kings. So this victory is going to disrupt and really shake up the whole division. And look, I'll be excited to fight, the next guys after I dismantle Lopez. Obviously, my full focus is on Lopez, and my motivation for this fight is huge. But I'm the kind of fighter that wants to fight the best of the best. And like we spoke against Selby, I always said that I want to fight the best guys. I'm not here to protect my record. I'm here to take on the best and beat everyone that's in front of me and clean out a whole division.
So what is your response? I've seen a few recent media articles focusing really more on the result of the purse bid for this huge fight, rather than the historic nature of this fight for Australian boxing. Do you have anything you'd like to say in response to that? Yeah,
look, some of the mainstream media has been a little bit funny. Unfortunately, we don't get the mainstream media we deserve, but we get fantastic, media companies like yourselves, Greek City Times, and help build my profile, help expose such a great event, and it's fantastic. They did come out, and obviously the big picture was about the purse bid and how much money was involved, but they need to be taught a little bit more about boxing, about how big this fight is. Forget the money, put that to the side, forget everything that comes with it. This fight, man against man, well, I say man against kid, because the way he's been acting, the way he is, he's a kid, he's 23 years of age. I'm just so excited for this fight and for this opportunity.
So there's a huge amount at stake for this fight, and you're on the absolute brink of boxing history, not just for Australia, but for around the world. Do you ever see in the future bringing some big fights to Australia?
Yeah, look, this is huge, this is massive. Full focus on Lopez, but I do have that vision, and I had that vision for this fight where we're going to do it here in Australia and pack out a massive stadium, but again, it wasn't meant to be, and I have no problem with, like I said, going overseas and fighting these guys over there. I love it, but I do have the vision. Once I have all the belts, they'll have to come see me. I won't have to travel anywhere, and I'm sure there'll be some very big mega fights here in Australia and in Greece. I want to take some big fights back to Greece as well. I think both countries deserve to have mega fights and bring back boxing in both nations, where I represent both very proudly.
So thanks for your time today, George. I know you're a really busy man, especially leading up to this massive fight. I'd also like to thank you in particular for your support of Greek City Times and the Australian boxing fans in general. You're an amazing ambassador for the sport. And you're on the verge of making boxing history. We've got undisputed lightweight champion of the world, all 5 belts, all on the line. So we look forward to tuning into Trilla on June 5th to watch your next fight. Any last words you have for the fans?
Obviously, I appreciate you guys, Greek City Times, for supporting me, been supporting me for a long time now. And I appreciate all the Australians, all the Greeks, all the fans, the general public, the sporting fans, everyone involved and backing me in this fight. And if you haven't, you're only watching this now and you realise how big of a fight this is, jump on board and support me, because we're here to make history and become the greatest of all time here in Australia.
Awesome. Thanks, George.
Thank you.
Tune in June 5th, Trilla.
Definitely.
Thanks.
Beautiful.